Hey everybody, and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, today we are working on some pretty mail type things. The first thing I'm going to be making is this pocket card system thing. I don't really have a name for it, but basically I'm just taking the backer card from some paper ephemera that I got from the kit that I'm actually using. This is from Your Creative Studio, and I'm using their most recent kit that I have gotten. I did an unboxing. I will try to remember to leave a link for it. Basically, the card that I'm working on top of was with the paper, and I thought it was really beautiful, and I wanted to figure out a way to use it because the card is a little bit thicker, so it could support something. But the first thing that I wanted to do was add some pockets, and then secondly, I wanted to try to cover up some of the font that was printed on the top. It's not difficult to do that. I just had to be a little bit creative about where I was putting things. So the first thing that I did was put some adhesive on the business card that comes with it. And then I added some adhesive to this vellum paper that I tore. I really thought the angled piece, the decorative border on the bottom was really, really interesting, and I wanted to create a corner piece for that. And then I'm just using this vellum envelope that I think is from Heidi Swap. It's from an old kit that I had from my scrapbooking days. I don't know how to link it, but basically it's just a vellum envelope that had double-sided tape that I just glued on. And I'm going to use that to put the smaller elements in. And then the business card that I glued down, it's going to be like medium-sized elements, and then the bigger elements will be in the vellum pocket on the right. Here you can see me just covering up that font. I just used the exact items that were in the kit, and I think it worked out really well. If I wanted to, I really could have gone a little bit more in depth with decorating these pieces just to give it a little more texture, but the items were so beautiful that I was working with anyway. The printed material was just so pretty that I didn't really want to cover any of it up really. So I just tried to keep it as simple as possible. Now I'm just actually stuffing the pockets. So I'm just trying to give you an idea of what you can do with very minimal supplies. So I just took out a couple of pieces of each of the supplies from this kit, and I used them for the actual card to decorate and make the pockets and stuff. But then I'm also using the items to stuff the pockets full. Now, before I actually send this out to a pen pal, I probably will add a little bit more. But I didn't want to show things that you couldn't use from the kit. I wanted to stick strictly with the items that were in this particular box, but when it comes time to shipping it out, I will add a little bit more because I feel like there's a little bit more I could add in, maybe some postage stamps, a washi sample, maybe a pretty quote card, and some other type of things. But this gives you an idea of how to use what you have to create something new and interesting, and how to upcycle something that would otherwise be recycled or thrown away. And that's basically what I'm doing by using the backer card. So I actually taught a class recently at Lighthouse Paper Co. in Melbourne, Florida. Basically this same thing. I did a little bit different technique because I wasn't using items from like Your Creative Studio. I wasn't like trying to show how you can use one box to create something. So I did use some scrapbook paper. I will do that tutorial again in the future if this style is what you guys are into. If you like watching me create something and decorate it and stuff it and get it ready for a letter, basically the stuff that I create while I'm filming, all I have to do is write the letter, stuff it in the envelope, and send it on its way, which is one of the reasons why I really love filming the process of making these things, because I use them and it creates an opportunity for me to not make an excuse of not having enough time to do something like that. So when I have like 3 or 4 of these, I feel comfortable enough to be able to sit down and write some letters. And I did 5 last week, which is a big deal. I think I've probably got like 60 or so letters that I have to reply to, letters and postcards and things like that. So I'm slowly getting caught up, but having the opportunity to create on screen like this is just really fun. So I did pull a couple of my vintage stamps in, and it was purely for the point of saying, like, you don't have to be strict with yourself like I am. but also like I can't resist adding a vintage stamp to anything. That's just like my thing, right? I have so many of these vintage stamps and I love them and I don't want them to sit here. I want to use them. And so I did, for the sake of the video, bring it in to the frame so that you guys can see, like, yes, I'm not so strict all the time, and it just added just a little bit, just that perfect little element. Now this kit did come with some rub-ons and some stamp looking stickers, but I'm saving those for a journaling video. I don't want to get overrun with this type of thing. So yeah, I will be doing a journaling video. It might end up being a reel because like my journaling videos are just so short now because my journals are really small now, but we'll see. Let me know in the comments which you would prefer. Do you like short form videos? Do you like the longer ones? I did not speed this up. I did cut a lot of it out. The original video was about 17 minutes. It took me 17 minutes to do this entire process, and I got it down to 7. So I did cut down a little bit of dead time, but that is just proof again that doing these pretty things doesn't necessarily take a lot of time. And as you can see on camera, you don't need to be a professional to do this. I'm literally just using what came in the box, tearing a bunch of paper up and gluing it down in a way that makes sense and that it doesn't blend too much together. I am very conscious about using elements that don't have very similar colors. I overlap with different colors. I overlap with different textures. Handwriting is a great way to get that effect of breaking things apart, but adding a lot of character. And so I'm very mindful about that. This envelope, you guys, it fit the card perfect. I didn't have to cut it down. I was so nervous because I did not think about that before I started working, but it fits perfectly. I'm so excited that I had these. And I'm basically creating what I call a quilt. I am totally removing all of the white space on this envelope by using the items that are in the box, obviously, but I want it to just cover it. And I probably, again, will add a little bit more. I did add one vintage postage stamp onto that like faux postcard paper, but I feel like I could use a little bit more. So off camera, I probably will add, again, a little bit more. This is just to give you guys an idea of what you can do with the items just in that kit. But please don't let that limit your creativity. Like, this is not what, that's not the message. Don't let that limit things, because that's just not the point. I'm going to add some of the washi tape on it, and then I'm going to call it good. I'm going to bring it in closer for you guys to see it in, like in your face a little bit more, but I love how it turned out. I am going to add a little bit more, but I've got my label there, and then the card fits perfectly in here. I could have decorated the back a little bit more, but I kept it simple for you guys. So let me know if you like it. Bye.